Oh, my. Thanks, Paul. My next guest is a brilliant cartoonist whose work regularly appears in the New York. In fact, he has a cartoon in the current issue of New Yorker magazine, ladies and gentlemen. He also has two collections of his work, Hamburger Madness, and his latest book, which I have right here, as a matter of fact. Well, yes, Filthy Little Things. Please welcome now Mr. Jack Ziegler.
Hi, Jack. Nice to meet you again, sir.
I mentioned you have one in the current issue. You want to
Yeah, I do.
take a look at that and show the folks what this is? I'm sure that most folks are familiar with your work.
Yeah. Well, you know, midlife crisis, a lot of changes happen, you know, things start growing out of your neck. Your pants no longer fit you. Well, I couldn't do the neck thing. But that's essentially what that is.
That's what we have here. The man at the desk of the Emergency Midlife Crisis Center.
Yeah.
My pants sob. My pants no longer fit me. Ugly notion. Yeah, it is sad. You didn't, you look, I mentioned this earlier, you look like a cartoonist.
Well, that was kind of a humiliating statement to make.
Well, I meant it in a flattering term, but it sounds silly now.
Well,
you didn't set out in life to be a cartoonist, did you? What did you do?
No, actually, I had a bunch of jobs before I did this, and I actually started off attempting to be a writer. And I was under the illusion that I actually could write, and the illusion was so great that I actually wrote a novel. And it was probably the worst book ever written.
It was published?
No, it was, oh no.
Didn't get that far?
No, didn't get quite that far.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
So I wanted to persist in this thing. And I continued writing, and I felt I could support myself while I was attempting to write by doing cartoons, because I figured that's an easy thing. You know, you sit down, draw a funny picture, you know, and you sell it for $5,000 or whatever. Is that an accurate? Could you sell a cartoon? No, I couldn't. No, not me.
Could a person support his or herself by submitting cartoons to just one magazine?
Probably if it were the New Yorker, they could. Yeah.
They pay pretty well.
And if the New Yorker chose to buy the cartoons.
Oh, that's the other half of it.
That's the major stumbling block.
When you're working on cartoons, do you? And I'm sure this is a question you may tire of hearing, but do you get the caption in mind first, or do you get the illustration first?
Essentially, what I do is, before I do anything in the morning, before breakfast, I like to get in a good solid 2 hours of daydreaming, and that's essentially what I do. I just sit there, I kind of stare at the wall, you know, just kind of gape. And I have a clipboard in front of me, and I'm kind of semi-doodling, and sometimes funny things happen on the clipboard, or strange things happen in my mind, and that's essentially what it is.
Okay, we have the result of that rather elaborate process you just described. And Jack, I guess you can present these for us, if you will.
Well, this actually is a cartoon that ran in Esquire about 7 or 8 years ago. The guy behind the desk is saying, "I'm not wearing any pants." Executives are actually kind of easy to poke fun at because they're.
Does that mean anything over and above what it appears to mean?
No, none of these mean anything other than, you know, hopefully they'll be amusing, you know, once they're in the magazine. This one was from the New Yorker a couple of years ago. And the jeweler is saying, "This one might be a bit out of your price range, sir. It costs $18 zillion."
But I love the guy. You know, the guy, to me, that's a good-looking guy. And
he is a good-looking guy, yeah.
He's going to pick up a little something, perhaps a gift. All right. $18 zillion.
$18 zillion. This is just a backyard barbecue, and this guy's saying, "Surely not the Mr. Barbecue."
You draw really nice stooges, you know. These are really nice.
I went to the Stooge school of cartooning. This guy's apparently thinking this. Suddenly it hit me. I was their prisoner. This is actually the title cartoon from a collection of drawings I did about 5 years ago. It also originally appeared in the New Yorker. And the guy's apparently been barbecuing hamburgers all night. And his wife comes out and, you know, lets him know what's happening, and he's kind of surprised.
Well, yeah, she's surprised, and you can see she's a little concerned.
This actually happened to me once. We had a party with about 4,000 people, and
Up
I
all
started,
night
and it was just
grilling
a little
burgers.
hibachi, and it was 4 burgers at a time. So. This is Merrill Lynch, Pierce Fenner, and Smith and Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Well-known
Financial
firm that does something. I don't know what they do, actually.
This is great. This one is great here.
This is the Lone Ranger, thinking someday I'm going to hire someone to do this. It's the origins of Tonto.
All right.
This one is also from the New Yorker. In fact, it's one of the more popular ones. Most of them are kind of unpopular. It's the amazingly inexpensive moving company.
Just open it up and toss them in. All right, Jack. Unfortunately, we have time, I think, for just one more. I'm going to pick out my favorite of the remaining. I may be cheating Americans out of their favorite, but this...
This is just a guy who likes toast, and he's got a tattoo on his arm that says, "Born to eat toast."
Very funny. The book is called Filthy Little Things, and
Filthy Little Things.
just about to go away, isn't it?
It's walking off the shelves now. It's been out about 2 years, probably totally unavailable at this point.
I'll tell you what, come back another night and we'll finish up looking at some more of your cartoons,
terrific.
Jack. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Nice
David.
to meet you, sir. We'll be right back with Mr. Michael Binder.